Hey guys, welcome back. So let's talk about the OnePlus 7 and 7 Pro again. It's more than a month now, I guess. It's almost 1.5 months. I'm using OnePlus 7 Pro and OnePlus 7 since it launched later. And in between that, I have to also send my device to repair. Now we have seen on the durability test, like both the devices are really made from the glass and all the metal combination. They have different version of Gorilla Glass on the front and back. So, but finally at the end, the glass breaks. So do try to use some good accessories. Already I have shown you some best cases that you can really use for the OnePlus 7 and the 7 Pro. So those who really don't want to use case, I have some good stuff which I am personally using. Like you can use some of the skins. Mine is red color, so I like to see the red color. I can apply red color and all the stuff, and you can also apply some screen protectors that can also work cool with the fingerprint sensor. It's invisible kind of stuff. So check the description for all the accessories that I am using. So for the OnePlus 7 Pro, I need to spend around 24k Indian currency, and I purchased the device on the 49k. So you can see it's almost half the price that I have to pay for the OnePlus 7 Pro repair, and after that device is completely new. And for the OnePlus 7, I need to pay around 12k. So this device I purchased, this is a red variant, but if you have the 6GB RAM variant or 33k, the pricing will be same. I need to pay 12k, so here it is around of 40% price of the original phone. If I hold OnePlus 7 and 7 Pro side by side in either of the hand, which one feels to me more comfortable? Obviously I have to name you the OnePlus 7. This is like the old OnePlus 60. This is lighter, this is heavy, and I'm sure you're not going to use your phone naked. With some cases you have to use it, so it will be much bulkier then. So now guys, let's talk about the important highlight of this time for the OnePlus 7 Pro. This is the display. This is the company also itself saying that this is the most striking feature they have brought till now, and yes, they are, because from the last couple of generations, I guess 3 to 4 years, they are using the same Full HD Plus AMOLED display. This time it is Quad HD Plus, and also this is curved, and also this is 90 Hz. It is one of the rare. There are some phones with 120 Hz, but this is a 90 Hz. Now this is really cool. So if you really want the best display between these two, definitely OnePlus 7 Pro you have to go. So since they are using the curved display, they're not pretty much using it how you should. For example, on the Galaxy devices, Samsung one, you are getting the edge panel feature, which are super helpful, and there are third-party developers which are making those things on the Samsung app store. But here there is no such thing. They just looks better in terms of using. They looks better, but there is no much usability for the curved screen like you will get on the other phones. I will recommend you guys try to read an XDA article. There will be link in the description. Since this phone has a 90 Hz display, so according to the OnePlus, not all the applications are using the 90 Hz display mode. Most of the applications will work on this 60 Hz mode. For example, if there is a game which is designed in such a way that can utilize the 90 Hz refresh rate, then it will use it. Otherwise, by default, it will switch to the 60 Hz. A big example is if you watch any videos, for example, YouTube videos, or if recorded any video, you try to play it back, it will be played on the 60 Hz display ratio, refresh rate. So pretty much you're not going to use 90 Hz every time. I guess 5 to 10% times you're going to use that thing. But yeah, it looks sharper since it is Quad HD. It looks always better compared to the OnePlus 7. But since you really care about the curved stuff and all the 90 Hz, then only this is display, the 7 Pro displays for you. Otherwise, OnePlus 7 displays again really very good. You won't disappoint at all. A quick talk about the performance between these two phones. So I am not seeing any difference at all. Mine is the OnePlus 7 is 8GB and the OnePlus 7 Pro is 6GB. So I've shown you a speed test, not in this channel but on the other channel. There is no difference at all, just 1 or 2 seconds, hardly a difference at all. So in terms of using, there is no difference at all. It is perfectly okay. So if you go with the 6, you go with the 8, the only difference you have in terms of storage, you will get more on the 8GB RAM variant since there is no SD card. That is why there are some phones which are very cool in that thing. This is Asus Zenfone 6 or 6 Gen with the same amount of RAM, same processor. They are giving you expandable storage, so you should look for some other options too. Just don't try to stick to one brand. So in terms of speed, they are the fastest Android device, or you can say they are amongst the fastest Android device. But so far I'm using the OnePlus devices from last 4 years. I can really assure you these are the best devices in terms of the performance. So There's nothing lag at all. The oxygenous ROM is really very clean, and already I have got couple of updates. So let's talk about the software of the OnePlus 7 Pro. I haven't noticed any major bugs, but I have only one concern with them in terms of software update, especially in terms of the camera. I mean, once the device was out, there was so much issues were there. It took them 3 to 4 major updates to bring lot of improvements and all the stuff. They should have done this thing earlier, because in between those 1 month many people may have switched to other devices. These two phones are running near about the same software version, but they are still have some difference. If I just go and show you can just check out there. They have the 9.5.6 and some different model number, and today I received a new update. They are not exactly the same version because same ROM version. Here it is, because they have some different tweaks for this device, so you should not be worrying about those things. But you can do almost everything that you can do there. For example, there's a good feature like the parking location. You can just mark your location. This is completely new. The launcher is great. You can add all the Google widgets inside that. You can make your theme dark and pretty much black, and here you have the notification shade, which is pretty much same. So software experience will be same on both the phone, except in one place. For example, in this OnePlus 7 Pro, since they have the curved display, you may get a notification light if you have enabled that, which you're not going to get on the OnePlus 7. But this is again not the best like you can get on the Galaxy devices. With some bit of light you will see on the OnePlus 7 Pro and not on the OnePlus 7. So this is the only advantage in terms of software ROM. So let's talk about the camera differences also. So OnePlus 7 will give you a dual camera setup, 48 plus 5. The 5 is the depth sensor, and here you will get the same Sony IMX586 48 megapixel, and there is a depth sensor of 8 megapixel, and there is a 13 megapixel of the ultra wide lens. Is there any difference in terms of the picture quality if you take photo from 7 and 7 Pro? See, if you talk about the main 48 megapixel sensor, there is no such difference at all. Both of these phones can do pretty much everything, except few features are extra on the OnePlus 7 Pro, but there is a side effect also. For example, if you're taking portrait with the rear camera, what it does, it brings the subject much closer to you. So you may need to adjust yourself to bring the subject in a much proper way. This is the only difference I have seen in terms of portrait on this one. Now, since there is an extra 13 megapixel ultra wide lens, you can take up to, I guess, 117 degrees of the portrait. On the Asus 6jet, it is 125. And on the Galaxies, I guess it is 123 degrees. So pretty much you can take good ultra wide shot also. This is the only difference. And yeah, there is a pop-up camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro, which you can use to lift 20 kg weights in case you want. And selfie cameras are both 16 megapixels same, so there is no difference at all. So really they are just different in terms of looking way. Otherwise both phones can do a great shot. If you don't want to take ultra wide photos, OnePlus 7 can do everything that the OnePlus 7 Pro can do. Same kind of video effect, 60 frames per second, super slow motion, all things you can do on both the phones in a similar way. And I forgot to tell you guys one important drawback of both the devices, especially in terms of the camera. If you're just trying to film a lot of videos in the 4K 60 frames per second, you're outside in the outdoor, on an average between 5 to 7 minutes, these devices will get super hot, and they will just give you warning like camera application is shut down, the device is super hot. So this is the problem. So let's talk about the battery differences between the 7 and the 7 Pro. OnePlus 7 Pro will give you 4000 milliamps battery with a rapid charge of 30 watt, and here you will get the 3700 milliamps with a 20 watt charger. Both are fast, but technically 30 watt will give you much better charging, and 300 milliamps difference, it's not a huge, but since this has a quad HD display, I'm getting less battery backup in the OnePlus 7 Pro compared to OnePlus 7. Obviously there's a technology difference, but if you just try to use the full HD mode and 60Hz display ratio, you will be getting the same battery backup more or less, because it has a slightly bigger screen, so it will just adjust with the extra milliamps that you're getting on the 7 Pro. So those are some of the differences which are really there on the 7 Pro. In terms of similarity, there are a lot of similar things, like both phones this time give you dual speakers, they are stereo, and they support the USB 3.1. It is the fastest among all the devices, and yeah, pretty much cool, same kind of construction, and there's no headphone jack, you have to rely on the Type-C stuff. SIM3 locations on the bottom, and here it is on the side, it is slightly different, and both phones are sort of waterproof, but don't trust them. They pass up to 2 minutes of splash test on my lab here, but it may not be working for you, so do not try to play around with the water. So guys, that's it pretty much between the 7 and 7 Pro differences, similarity. Now what is my recommendation if you are planning to buy any of them? If budget is not your problem, really OnePlus 7 Pro is going to give you the best of the OnePlus. But like I said, there are other competitor too, like the Galaxy devices are still there. But if you are really tight on the budget, so on the 33K, the OnePlus 7 is still a good. It is the reliable, old-fashioned OnePlus device which we have used from the so long time, and it's everything that you will expect from the OnePlus. This is completely new, except few things which are not the deal breaking, I think so. As of now, today, maybe in the future, when all the application will get ported to a 90 Hz refresh rate, definitely OnePlus 7 Pro will be great for you. Otherwise, I have used in between that so many other devices like the Redmi K20 Pro, Asus SigJet. They give me some extra features which I'm still missing, like there's a no headphone jack, there's a no expandable storage, 128 GB sometime is less. Now finally, which device I am going to use it, since I have purchased both and already I have spent a lot of money on the OnePlus 7 Pro. It makes sense for me to keep OnePlus 7 Pro, and as soon as in the future more and more applications will keep on supporting this 90 Hz refresh rate, probably this device feels to me more great. And yeah, it is super heavy, super bulky, so I need to use cases that will make it again super bulky. Anyway guys, that's been it for the OnePlus 7 versus 7 Pro. If you have any concerns, queries regarding the 7 Pro, just drop a comment. Or what do you think the best buy, the 7 or the 7 Pro? So once again, thank you so much for watching. This is Saurabh. Have a great day.